What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister Dora.
What's up?
And my brother Derek.
What's up?
And this week, you guys, it is May the 4th. So we are going to be talking about Star Wars.
Star Wars Day.
Star Wars Day. This, of course, on podcasts is going to come out before May the 4th, but if you're watching on YouTube, happy May the 4th. Do you say that? May
Yes.
the 4th be with you?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
You do say happy May the 4th or happy Star Wars Day.
Okay. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about A New Hope, the original Star Wars, which was later named A New Hope. I never knew that. Like, because growing up, we had the VHS, and it just said Episode 4, and I always wondered, why do you start with Episode 4?
Yeah,
But he didn't.
Yeah.
It was just called Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was changed later on, as was many other things.
Right. Like watching this. Now, granted, I know I said before that I didn't really remember these movies well, but there were certain scenes that stuck out where I'm like, I know I haven't seen this before.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you
there was
played
a lot.
Star Wars Legos?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
it's
played
right
through the
on.
entire saga, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, it's right on from the movies.
Yeah. So
Like,
yes.
no scenes or
Star
skip.
Wars Lego, great game. Star Wars movie.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I don't understand why these movies are popular.
I
My
do.
God,
I
we're losing fans.
I
Oh,
know
boy.
I'm
You can't talk about Star Wars
And you
or Star
opened the
Trek.
episode with it. Now, like, at least
Yeah.
save it for the end of the
okay.
episode.
I'm gonna save it for the end,
Goodness
but I
gracious.
did want to confirm that this was a different version than the version I know because there was things that I was just like, this was not in this movie before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are scenes that
Yeah,
were
so
added.
for those of you who don't know, we watched this on Disney Plus because they have all the Star Wars movies. And I think this is the 1997
Remaster.
alteration that
Mhm.
George Lucas has done,
Mhm.
including a lot of 1997 CGI.
This was worse than 97 CGI.
Yeah, that scene with Jabba the Hutt was horrible.
Dude, he was pointing. I'm like, you're not even pointing at him.
My thing is Star Wars was known for its like it changed a lot, especially with its practical effects that it did.
Yeah.
Like
Especially for 1970.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it was really good, and you kind of ruin it by adding in that CGI.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It wasn't needed.
It wasn't.
it wasn't needed. All of the CGI scenes were not needed.
No.
Like none of them were
It
needed.
didn't
I felt like it didn't need to be
like
touched at
adding
all.
in Jabba the Hutt. I'm like, okay, so now here's the guy he owes money to or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't matter because not seeing him was fine. You know he owes money to someone. I didn't need to see the guy he
Yeah, he
owed.
Yeah,
mentions
I felt like it took away of the mystery of who is this
Because
guy
when
he
you
owes
finally
money
see
to.
him in the third movie,
Yeah.
it has a bigger impact to me.
Yeah.
Yes, because even with the ending of Empire Strike Back, it's like, okay, send him off to the guy that owes the money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's just like, well, he owes money to. So it's just like you still like, man, who is this person?
And then we
like,
see Jabba the Hutt.
yeah,
You're like,
and
whoa,
it's like
okay.
you took that whole mystery away that was being set up in two movies.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary at all.
So we're going to just start off by pointing that out, that we don't like any of the CGI additions.
Yeah.
A lot of them were extended scenes, like we said with the Jabba one, that was unnecessary. You horribly lifted Han up over Jabba's tail, apparently. I don't think any of us would have noticed if he just walked behind him without doing that, but whatever.
True.
And then like there were extended shots of like the CGI city or whatever.
Mhm.
Added shots of different alien animals and stuff, and I'm like, none of this added to the movie. I think maybe he was thinking he was world building or something, but I think you world built enough in.
The world building was enough. World building is not the issue with this movie. And I think like those additions cost like another like $10 million or something. Just a waste of money.
Yeah.
Definitely not necessary.
Just to add 3 more minutes of content.
Yeah. But let's focus on the movie as it was. I'm going to ignore those scenes and we'll go on with what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So we start off with like, you know what, the way the Star Wars movies starts is always like, it really, I think it's good. It
Yeah.
does draw you in. So you like, you pan down from the stars after the little
Just
word
roll.
crawl.
Which,
Mhm.
by
And
the
then-
way, they could have sped that up.
Yeah.
It was slow.
Hey, when I was a kid, I couldn't read all.
Man, I'm like already at the end of the sentence and didn't get past the bottom of the screen yet.
Are they faster in the newer movies? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Do they do? We haven't watched a main Star Wars movie in a long time, so they haven't
Yeah, I
done
don't
it.
know. Yeah.
I have no idea. The last one I saw was whichever one Han Solo dies in.
Oh,
Uh,
The Force Awakens.
yes.
Okay.
That wasn't a bad movie.
No,
was
it
pretty
wasn't.
much a New Hope again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So, but we start off, and then you have the spaceships firing at each other.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think if this is 70s, like, you're like, yo.
Are we blown away by these graphics in 1977?
Yes.
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 Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus, those were models, right? Like, so
Mhm.
Yeah.
they did look pretty good.
I think the use of practical effects and then to get that and then to put it on the big screen like that was done well.
Yeah.
The lighting effects not so much.
Oh, you mean like the laser blasts?
Yeah.
It's 1970.
It's 1970.
I'm pretty sure they had
though.
to draw that on each frame.
Yeah, it's 1970.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can get better than that.
Yes, because yes, the laser blasts don't look great.
Yeah, I mean, because like even the lightsabers.
Oh, horrible.
I know how they did that. So they had like little sticks in the lightsaber thing, and then they put the effect over top,
Mhm.
Okay.
which now is just CGI.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
still looks better now though. But yeah, well, I mean, we talk about lightsaber. The lightsaber fights. Whew.
Oh my goodness. They were just two old men standing still. I'm like, is this a fight?
1977. But you know
Yeah.
what? In the third movie, it
It was a lot
much
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like when you
Return
got
of
Luke,
the Jedi.
yeah, when you got Luke versus Darth Vader in the third. Actually, even in the second one.
Well,
Mhm.
fun fact. There's a stuntman in the second and the third movie. In the first movie, it is the actual guy playing Darth Vader.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe they had something to do with it.
Okay.
Like maybe we
Yeah.
need to get a stuntman for this. Yeah. So we start off with them trying to get the Death Star plans back. Which, if you watch Rogue One, the movie,
Mhm.
explained that whole deal, why they're attacking that ship and whatever. Actually,
Yeah.
Rogue One, I think, is one of the better Star Wars.
It
movies.
is. It
It's
is.
really good.
I want to say like it's my favorite one.
Yeah,
I
mean, it's up
haven't
there.
seen it, so I don't know. I'm glad
Yeah,
there's.
I don't want to spoil it for you.
I'm never gonna see this movie.
Yes, you are. 'Cause
Yes,
we're
you
going
are.
through Star Wars.
We are
franchise.
not. I'm
Yeah.
not
We are.
watching 10 movies of this.
Let's do it. We are.
Yeah.
We're going through Star
We
Wars.
can space it
franchise.
out over 4 months.
Over
One-
4 months.
Over 4
One
months.
one every 4 months. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Then it won't be that bad for you.
Come
Please,
on,
I
we're going
can't
through
even-
franchises here.
This was
Star Wars is on the list.
more than enough.
So it gets better as it goes on.
It absolutely does.
So, well, then we go back to the pre. Okay, never mind. So, yeah, interesting. Then, like, I like how in the introduction you get the villain like immediately, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Darth Vader. I mean,
Yeah, and then the scene of everybody running away and falling down and falling over. And I thought it was really cool because it's like you just hear CP3PO talking,
yeah,
but you see the people running and falling behind him, and it's just like he doesn't care what's going on behind him. He's just like, R2, what are you doing? Why? Yeah, and you just see people just
I have to say that I actually do enjoy the banter between C3PO and R2D2. Now, Dora's face is like, what R2 doesn't talk, but you could
Yeah.
tell that it's snarky.
I found C-3PO to be the most annoying thing.
He's
on the
supposed
face
to
of the
be.
earth.
Yeah, he's supposed
He's
to be.
supposed to be.
And you're right about R2D2 being snarky because originally they had like an English script for him, and he like kind of smart talking, using rough language or whatever.
Mhm.
So then it's like, oh, it's better if he you don't hear what he's saying, but you're
Mhm.
still responding like, well, that was inappropriate.
Mhm.
So I thought that was interesting. I guess I don't know, just all of the beeps and the bops and stuff. Just it's really noisy. I can't get with it.
Because this is just not Earth. Jeez. The beeps and the bops and the boops. All right. So anyway, R2 has the Death Star plans. Was put on to him by Carrie Fisher's Leia, which she looks super young in this.
She was
right?
like 19,
She
I
was
believe.
19. Yeah.
Everybody looked young.
Yeah, and y'all notice they pronounce her name like 3 different ways in this movie?
Oh,
Yeah.
did
Yeah, they
they?
did.
Did you notice that Mark Hamill said Carrie at one
Yes.
scene? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so we have this now. A lot of this now makes more sense as they have dove into the lore, like why she's asking Obi-Wan Kenobi for help. The Obi-Wan show actually like makes sense of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I actually like her character in this. You know, they complain about like strong female characters in movies nowadays. Like this is a well-praised movie, and she was never showed to be like a weak damsel or whatever
Right.
in this movie.
You know, I thought the same thing when watching it, and I think you're right. Like, we've had strong women movies. I mean, you take her, you take the Alien movies and stuff, but I think the difference is here is that she wasn't the star of the movie.
Right. Okay. So she's not the main character. She's the 3 is a trio, right? When they at the end of the movie it says starring Mark Hamill,
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, thank you, and Carrie Fisher.
You know, you're right, but people have selective memories also.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like when people are watching this movie, and I think back in the 70s, movie was probably loved predominantly by young men.
Yeah.
Not saying that there weren't young women who liked it, but I think predominantly it was like young men loved this movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody was looking like, oh, Carrie Fisher was amazing in it. And she was amazing in this movie. Like, even though she was held captive and a prisoner or whatever, she never backed down. She was always fighting. But you don't hear about that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Which you should, because, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel like the beginning of this movie was very slow.
It was.
I think it opened well, but then when you get to like Luke's family and stuff,
Yeah.
without having that background of like who he is and why, I mean, like I guess you don't even really get that until the second movie.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
kind of like, why do I care about this dude?
Yeah. Yeah. And but I kind of give it a bit of a pass on it because a lot of movies in this time period was like a lot slower. Like I was thinking in one scene when we were on Tatooine and he runs back to the speedster to see if his aunt and uncle had like been attacked, and like they show him running from the one spot all the way to the speeder, getting in, setting up, and then driving away. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, you do have like was all that, and then also another thing I think is like George Lucas, right? That's George Lucas, right?
Yeah.
Like when he wrote this thing, he wrote like a whole 200-page thing. And it's like, bro, you can't make this into a movie. So it got cut down into this movie. And then it's like, you don't know if they're going to be making the rest of the story into a movie or not yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of say it's just like, oh, it's slow, but you got to think like you took 1/3 of this guy's whole screenplay.
Yeah.
So you do have that also too. And then like you said, like a lot of times back in the day, is they showed all of the things, which we didn't need. And then it's like, you showed us all of those things, but I don't know, maybe show him have a little bit more emotion about his family being melted.
I guess he could have had a bit more
Just a
emotion
little.
there.
He was like, oh, darn, I'm going to Alderaan now.
There's nothing else for me here. I mean, which wasn't,
Yeah.
but I
Because
guess-
all his friends were gone too.
yeah.
Yeah, he had a little bit more. He had more emotion for Obi-Wan, and he knew that dude for 2 days. And then his uncle was turned to crispy toast, and he was just like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so they're on the droids are on Tatooine. We got them, they're captured, they're bought by Luke, which is kind of like how he came into contact with them. Interesting enough, I always find it interesting that these were his father's droids.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he has them by chance,
Yeah.
which is interesting. The red R5,
I believe it was R5.
yeah, is in the Mandalorian now.
Does it do something special?
Apparently, I haven't finished this season,
Okay.
but apparently it does.
Okay. Do we need that? Like, does R5 need a background story?
No, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, oh, that's a cool Easter egg kind of thing.
Yeah, one of those
You know.
type things.
Okay.
You shake your head, but like it's all through like Marvel and stuff.
I didn't say that. I was just saying, and when Marvel does it, I call them out for being unnecessary.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fandom and the lore.
Who is fans of the Raggedy R5?
All right, hey, look.
No, it's not of
I'm gonna put
that.
it this way: we got a Boba Fett
Yeah.
Boba Fett show.
Mhm.
So we'll slip there. So we got a Boba Fett show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boba Fett was in these original movies for all of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And everybody loved Boba Fett. Oh my goodness, blah blah
Mhm.
blah. When he
That's
did
why they
nothing
made
but
it
be
a show.
trash, and then that's why they made a show. And now we realize this is why he's trash, because Boba Fett is trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
a small
just-
thing. People get attached to stuff, and then you make a little reference, and you're like, oh my god,
hmm
it's the thing from the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's the same way like when trailers drop and people overanalyzing trailers, and it's just like, oh, this me from because of this past movie, or this was this
But
in
I
the
mean,
comic
we talk
book.
about one robot that caught on fire. Like,
Yeah,
why do I need to know that robot's origin?
because as a fan or the lore of the show, it draws interest.
Well, it's not his origin because
Yeah, it's not.
Mandalorian's after this, so it's just the continuation of his story.
They fixed the motor that went out on her.
Even more.
What is it, motivator? Some of the lines I think it's funny because it's like this one's got a bad motivator, and it's like really because it's not motivated. Great,
Yeah.
thank you. That's someone wrote that.
Someone did.
Yeah. So put simply, they find him. He finds Obi-Wan. Okay, first of all, Luke. A few stupid mistakes. One, how do you get tricked by R2D2? And I never noticed this until this time that I watched the movie because like I don't watch it like often.
Mm-hmm.
But like R2's like, I can play the rest of the message if you remove this limiter that's on me. And Luke's like, okay, yeah, I'll just go do that. I'm like, you're an idiot. Like that was so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And then R2 just stops playing the message.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, oh, is he gone? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
right,
You
he-
remove what was keeping him there.
Like, he's pretty clear. It's like, I didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go find Obi-Wan. And that's what he was going to do. How come that thing doesn't run out of batteries?
I, actually was thinking that while I was watching this. I was like, cool. And then I was like, wait, no, the droids don't, they don't run out of,
No.
they don't run out of batteries.
Interesting.
Yeah. I did like that they kept to detail when he gave CP3PO the oil bath
Mm-hmm.
and like it only went to his shoulders.
Yeah.
For the rest of the movie, that was the only part that was shining. The top part of him was dark and dirty still.
Oh, kind
I was like, wow, they kept that.
Oh.
oh, it's not like when people like get out of water.
Water,
and their hair is
yeah,
dry?
and they're dry. Yeah.
So he gets tricked by R2.
Yep.
Okay, then this is when we find Obi-Wan. Also, Luke, another thing about being stupid is like, I wonder if he means Ben Kenobi. And then you meet Ben Kenobi, right? Like, do you know Obi-Wan? I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
if you did not catch that this is the same person.
Yeah, like that whole thing. And I'm like, clearly they're the same person. It was
Yeah.
just so ridiculous. And then I don't like, why is Obi-Wan going through this long thing to say, it is me?
It's me.
Like, what? And then
Yeah.
also, Ben, if I'm in hiding, I'm gonna make sure my name is not Ben Kenobi.
Also, yeah, I was like, you might want to
Obi-Wan, and it has been like,
you might
okay.
want to get rid of the Kenobi part.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you kept Obi-Wan and then it was something else, that I mean, still no, but that would have
Yeah.
been better. I'm pretty sure everyone knew Kenobi as he was
Right.
like one of the best Jedi. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now you're in hiding because the Jedis are being murdered or something.
Mm-hmm.
they've
And-
already murdered,
Yeah, he's the only one left.
except for
And Yoda.
Ahsoka.
Who?
And Ahsoka.
I don't care. And then you like keep your last name.
Yeah.
It is not like it's common. Your name's not Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like one of us going to hiding and we keep the last name. We definitely. Are you related to?
Well, didn't they say the same thing on Shang-Chi? And he changed
Yeah.
his name to Sean.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay. It sounds exactly the same.
Yeah, just ridiculous. Like, good job of hiding because he's the robot and he immediately thought of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as he said, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if she mean old Ben Kenobi.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know him? Bruh. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But see, now every time like we bring up Obi-Wan, I just keep going back to that scene from his show where Darth Vader force dragged him through hot coals,
Yeah.
which was rough.
Yeah.
Like Jesus, that was good. I gotta finish that show.
That was a good show.
Yeah. Okay. So he meets him, and then, all right. So there are some things that are very clear here.
Mm-hmm.
One, Leia was not originally Luke's sister.
Yep.
Darth Vader was not originally Luke's father.
No.
You can tell by the lines. Now you can play it off like Obi-Wan was just being vague about it,
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
but there's a lot of things where it's like, wouldn't Darth Vader know that these are his children?
He would.
Exactly. That was my whole thing. Like,
Because
if
they're
Layla is his
connected.
daughter, he would have known right off the bat that he had his daughter captured.
Yeah.
And considering how he acted with Luke in the other movies, he would not have let anything bad happen to Leia.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was saying the same thing. And I was just, but you're right. I guess maybe that wasn't their initial. Because I'm like, he would know that's his daughter.
Yep.
Would.
And then Obi-Wan talking in circles, which you could say, well, Darth Vader really did kill Anakin because he turned into a whole nother person or whatever. But you can
Mhm.
tell that dialogue was not intended for him to be
Yeah.
talking like
He
they
was
were
he
one and the
was
same.
murdered by Darth Vader, basically,
Yeah.
the way he put it. Usually when you say that, when it's like, oh, this person killed them,
Yeah.
it's not put the way that Obi-Wan
Yeah.
put in.
That
Yeah.
that and even if Obi-Wan didn't tell him that Darth Vader was his father, I think in that scene he would have told him Layla was his sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
They didn't plan that into the third movie.
it's like, and I had it down like, wouldn't this be a perfect time to tell him about this? It doesn't make any
Mhm.
sense that you wouldn't.
Yeah.
So yeah.
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 I mean, maybe
Because then,
because
he would
his father is Darth Vader.
Right.
And I'm saying, like,
You
that
don't do
part,
that.
Like, maybe you don't. Although I don't know why not. You're busy telling him everything else about his daddy. Be like, oh yeah, your father's an evil person. Sorry, but you tell him about his sister, if nothing
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. And I mean, just like you stop asking questions, it's the same thing. You stop answering his questions. Because, of course, it's going to be like, well, if she's my sister, then it's just like, okay, so who was my dad? It's like, well, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Why wouldn't he tell him that the
Mhm.
girl on the message was his sister?
Exactly.
And that was clearly not planned because in the entire first and second movie, you got Luke like, falling after Leia or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, what would be the point of making them brother and sister after all of that?
Mhm.
I wonder why they decided to do that.
It's not needed.
Yeah.
Maybe because they wanted her to be with Han Solo.
I think the fans kind of wanted her to be with Han Solo,
So
but
then just have Han
yeah,
Solo
so
be
have her
with her.
choose Han Solo. It seemed like they were going that route anyway in
Yeah.
the second movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, she changed her mind. That happens every day.
Yeah.
So strange, but okay. So yeah, that was clear. So we get the cantina now.
Mm-hmm.
No?
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool. I didn't notice, did Han shoot first in this or not? Or is this
No,
a changed
they
version?
changed. This is changed.
This is a changed version. That was also unnecessary.
Yeah, but I think people were not normal people, but some people were complaining because if he shoots first, then he's the bad guy.
But I think that's the point, right?
Exactly.
He's not exactly a good
He's
like.
not a
Yeah,
hero.
Yeah.
right. He becomes one.
Well, I'm guessing maybe back in the day, people have a hard time rooting for the person that's not necessarily good.
What do you mean? Everyone always loves anti-heroes.
Now,
They're the best. Now, okay.
yeah. Back then, though.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I can't go back in time and find out how they like anti-heroes in movies, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was an unnecessary change. Apparently, they added a word in there too. I don't know. It was an alien word, so I don't think that was needed.
We'll need it.
I always remember that scene when I was a kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think it's a good scene.
Yeah.
It
That
is a good
conversation
scene.
between him and Gorku, or something. Grodo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Grudo?
Grudo.
Grudo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we're wrong. We're definitely wrong.
I think
Greedo?
maybe that. It's close. It's something.
Whatever.
Like
The
that.
alien that dies immediately by Han
Right.
Solo.
I think that was a good scene. I think the conversation was really cool. And I think that it would have been better if he was the one that shot first.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
just
and
didn't
the
make
other
sense.
famous line before they even get it. These are not the droids you're looking for.
That was
Yeah.
also pretty cool.
Well, see, now
These are
we
not the
talk about
droids we're
world
looking
building.
for.
That's good world building. Like
Yes.
that scene,
Yeah.
without saying it, now we know what Obi-Wan's powers are, right?
Yeah, like you could see the power of the Force.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Also, Obi-Wan, you're in hiding. Maybe don't cut someone's arm off with a lightsaber.
Right.
Who uses a lightsaber? Let's just
Only
say it,
Jedis.
right?
Yeah.
Only Jedis.
Yeah.
What happened to all the Sith and stuff? Because like they're like Vader's the last one. Now I
Yeah.
know there's answers. I'm sorry, I don't watch or read extended Star Wars stuff. So, but like okay, in Obi-Wan, we had several people that like the one girl, right? She had a lightsaber and everything.
Why are you looking at me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, I just I'm like, why is it just Darth Vader? What happened to them?
Maybe they all died
Um,
in fighting each other.
Mhm.
They mentioned the Clone Wars. What happens during that?
That's the second movie.
Yeah.
And actually that's in between not the second movie. That's in between episode 2 and 3.
Yes.
Okay.
So the cartoon
The
happens
cartoon.
then.
Clone Wars.
Should I watch? I don't want to watch it.
People say it's good.
A lot of
I've watched
people
some
do
of
like
it.
the cartoon.
You get to see Anakin not be Darth Vader.
Why would I want to see that?
Because apparently he was really good and he taught Ahsoka.
Who?
Man, what is her name?
Why I can't remember.
I can't think of
actress's
the
name.
actress name now.
She's in Daredevil.
Yeah,
The
and Luke
nurse.
Cage.
Oh, the TV show. Oh,
Yeah.
Rosario.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson. Thank
Yeah,
you. She's
yeah.
playing
She
her.
plays
She's getting
Ahsoka.
her own show now.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. And he taught her how to be a Jedi.
Jedi.
Yeah, he trained her.
Can anyone be a Jedi?
No.
Okay.
You have to be forced.
That's why there's not that many of like Sith
So-
and Jedis.
How does so she already has some sort of
Right. Just like, well, they don't explain it here because I don't know if it was planned because it seems like Luke was just like, hey, yeah, you can be a Jedi.
Mhm.
But
Right.
technically, you have to be force sensitive. You have to have a connection to the force in order to do it.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it's passed on genetically.
Okay. Does Layla have the Force?
Yes.
She does. They showed it in one of the new movies. Everyone hated it, but she does.
Okay.
Not as great as Luke, obviously.
Yeah, because she never like.
Because she didn't do
Trained.
anything in the original.
No, Luke trained her, I guess, after these movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but she like their mother more so focused on diplomacy than actually like fighting.
Mm-hmm. So I know we're like getting off topic as I'm trying to sort out the world of Star Wars.
Mhm.
Is there a movie that explains why the Empire is doing what they're doing? Because like we kind of jump in.
In the middle of a story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the second
prequels-
movie.
the
Yeah,
prequels
the second
explain-
movie basically explains because the Emperor is secretly underhanding and undermining everyone,
Okay.
so he can gain control.
Basically, it's a guy that wants power, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
As all giant bad guys want.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was
So-
like if he gets rid of everybody, then
He's setting up the empire, and basically what they're doing is trying to get control of all these different places.
yeah,
Mhm.
So he's already taking control of the government. Now you've got to snuff out all of the, rebel factions,
yeah,
Okay.
which is what they're trying to do in this movie.
yeah.
Okay.
So he like secretly, underhandedly, like gave himself all the power while pretending.
She's got to watch the
Oh,
prequels,
oh,
which
yeah.
he will be watching.
Yeah,
Look, there will at least be one of these movies that we can all openly hate together,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
And then you will enjoy that, but you're gonna have to watch it.
yes. She's gonna have to watch it.
All right.
Alrighty, so okay, so this is where we see the Millennium Falcon.
Yes,
Do you
everyone
know
loved
what?
that.
For design, I think that's a great spaceship. Design wise, I think it looks cool. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like as you,
I don't hate it. I
it's
mean,
iconic. Well, now it is.
Yeah, because everyone loved it
why though?
because it was different.
Okay, because it didn't look like Star Trek.
I guess.
I guess so.
Okay.
I don't know. I like the spaceships in this movie, like the fighters and stuff. Like the
Yeah.
TIE fighters, I think look cool. The X-wings definitely
Yeah.
look cool.
You know what? I'll give you that. I think they all have. I mean, like to me, the Millennium Falcon isn't anything special,
Yeah.
but I will say like, okay, there are some good design choices in here.
So, we escape on the Millennium Falcon, but they let them escape because they're tracking them.
No, they're not tracking them yet. That's when they leave the Death Star.
Oh, that's when they leave the
Yeah.
Death Star. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Okay. So
yeah, they
escape-
weren't tracking them because he left them by going to hyperspeed,
right.
or
Then
hyperdrive.
they find Alderaan, but it's
already blown up.
asteroid belt now because it got blown up.
Yeah.
Which was those graphics added in later? Those little pixels.
Probably. I don't know.
It wasn't great.
I don't remember. Like,
Yeah, I don't
I'm going
remember
off
that.
of my childhood memory. Of
I don't
watching the
remember that.
original
I
movie.
remember seeing the planet getting blown up, but I mean, it had to be because it's like when they get there, the planet is no longer there, so they had to run into something, and they had to
just-
get drawn in through the Death Star.
It
And I'm
felt
just like
so
being
new
a
to me
kid.
that them getting hit by the rocks.
I think some of them getting hit by the rocks was added in. The rocks were definitely there
Right.
in the original that we watched. I think like so the ship, because I noticed that like you talking about get hit and it was like a flash or something. when it
Yeah,
hit-
and like and
think
there's
that
like,
would've
oh, where does asteroid belt come from?
Mhm.
I felt like that was new.
Uh,
I don't think so.
no, the scene was there. I do remember that. I'm talking about that because they're talking about where's the planet and
But
stuff.
them, I mean, I know that, but I'm saying them actually getting hit and like driving through debris of Alderaan.
Oh,
Because I know the scene where
your
they're
parents still
there.
got the VHS and a VCR. We're gonna have to check this.
I don't think anyone has a VCR.
I mean, you could probably find one. Like, I know they get there and they're saying, like, the planet should be here and it's not there. I'm thinking the stuff before that was added.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay, all right.
it makes sense though, because if a planet just blew up,
I mean, I'm
you're
not
going to
saying it
have
doesn't make
debris.
sense. It just felt like I haven't seen it before.
Oh, okay.
She's talking about the graphics on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's no moon.
So I finally was like, oh, that's what that's from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, this is
I
where
was
they
like,
start
oh.
the whole "I've got a bad feeling about this."
yeah. I got a bad
So,
feeling about
In
this.
every Star Wars movie, someone says, "I've got a bad feeling about this."
Why is that the thing?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Okay.
Sometimes things just stick,
Yeah,
and that was one.
I can't wait till we get to the one. It's a trap.
That's a good. That's just because it's a meme now.
Yes, I mean,
It's a trap.
it's a trap.
Look,
I know you have heard that on other stuff.
I have.
Oh, okay.
But it's just like when
it's
I got.
funny. The race is called like they're calamaris or something. This is a fish guy.
Yeah, it's a fish guy. Yeah. He does look like a shrimp.
What?
Nothing.
So they get pulled into the Death Star.
Yeah, by the tractor beam, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
There's always tractor beams in
Always
space on
tractor
ships.
beams. How does that work?
I don't know.
All right, so it just takes them to Leia, which they needed anyway. So they're gonna go save her. Well, their initial plan was just to escape, and then they figure out she's there.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And they got pulled in from the tractor beam because they figured they were the ones that were trying to escape with the plans. So that's why they brought them onto the ship.
No, that dumb guy said, "Oh, they must be trying to return the plans to Layla." That's the dumbest thing. Why would I go to an enemy
Yeah.
ship to return plans to someone who?
Yeah,
No,
that part
so-
was dumb.
no, here's what I think was happening. They said this is like we found a ship that matches the description of a ship that left Tatooine.
Yes.
Right, and then they're saying that maybe because it came to Alderaan. The question is, why is it coming from Tatooine to Alderaan? Right,
Yeah.
there's a good big question, like why that trip? And they're
Mhm.
saying maybe they were trying to return the plans to Leia, which she would be on Alderaan.
That's
So
a
they're
dumb plan, and that's dumb reasoning.
On their part, but they had to go to Alderaan because they
I
was
know
going to
they
get
had to go to Alderaan because that's where the people were supposed to be.
another thing on why it doesn't match up of Darth Vader being their father. Why she kept on saying you need to return the plans to my father.
Because
Oh, well,
she got raised by the other
yeah.
people.
Oh, okay.
she's adopted.
Okay.
Still calls him her father.
Okay. All right.
That's fine. No, what is a disconnect there is that Darth Vader sensed Obi-Wan, but
And not
Luke,
her and Luke.
right?
Right, because he can sense people with the Force.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so he knows there, but he doesn't sense any one of those two people who also has the Force powers.
But when they're fighting in the air, when they're trying to destroy the Death Star, he says the Force is strong with this one.
So
Yeah, as he could tell that, but didn't know it was his son as
Yeah.
he tried to blow him up.
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way you don't know that's your kid.
Right. You can sense the Force with him, but you can't sense that he's your
And
son.
then what I don't understand is he feels Obi-Wan is around and then walks away.
He walks away. Yeah.
I'm
He's
like,
like, obviously he's on the ship.
he's on the ship.
Yeah.
Because
And
we're
then-
like, we searched. There's nobody there. We're like, okay.
Okay, first of all, you guys didn't look. Clearly, you didn't look hard enough.
I mean, obviously stormtroopers are stupid.
Yeah, they are supposed to be
They are
stupid.
the dumbest.
They're the dumbest. So you're saying no one is there? I don't know. There should still be guards inside and outside of the ship because if
Yes.
they manage to leave the ship without you seeing,
Yeah. And it's like they have to escape the Death Star.
right? So they're going.
So they're going to come back to the ship.
No, they thought they had used an escape pod before.
You didn't see it. You pulled the ship in, and you didn't notice if an escape pod escaped,
They noticed the escape pod that had the droids on their escape.
which they decided not to blow up for some reason.
Well,
'Cause it said
nobody's
it
on
was-
there. It must have
it's-
malfunctioned.
It was no life forms on there.
Hey, look.
Why did the escape pod?
It's just
even
like
if,
the NPCs in video games. What was that? Oh, must have been the wind.
it doesn't because even if there
Oh,
was
it
no
was
one
nothing.
on the escape pod, right? You just attacked the ship, and now an emergency ship is leaving.
Mhm.
I would think, if nothing else, that she put the plans on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. If
Yeah.
it's empty and she just put like
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? You know she's trying to get a message out. You know she took the plans. I would assume that they put it on there and sent it off, right? It obviously can have autopilot and go wherever. You blow it up.
Mhm.
Just and then even if it was a nothingness, just blow it up. What is one laser beam going to hurt you to blow it up?
Well, they needed the plans. Did
Why-
they need
no,
the
they
plans?
didn't need the plans.
need
They
the
needed
plans.
the rebels to not have the plans.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That was the whole point.
Then yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Just blow it up.
Just blow it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was dumb.
So they
But
find
this is
Leia.
where we get some of the greatest scenes. First of all, I love the future old technology that like these movies have.
Oh yeah.
Especially like when he's lowering the tractor beam, it's like why does it make that sound? Some of the best scenes. Again, R2 being snarky throughout this is to me is just
Yeah.
it's great. especially to 3PO, which is funny. I think that's why it works, because 3PO is annoying and you have R2
being snarky
back at
and
him.
you're not actually getting the words of what
Yeah,
he's saying.
but you can tell.
Yeah. But yeah, greatest when they come into the command center
Oh yeah,
room.
when, the detention deck, right?
Yeah.
And so like they have this whole plan to pretend like they're arresting Chewbacca,
Yeah.
and that like goes south immediately. So they just start shooting people. And then he tries to be on the comm, which, come on, you can't say that wasn't funny.
That was a good scene.
Okay, all right.
Everything is
good.
good.
Here. Just had we've got a leak. It's a really bad leak.
It was good. I think Harrison Ford was great in this movie. It's the reason why his career took off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a good scene. Actually, all the scenes kind of following that was good too.
Because they rescue Leia.
Her kind of sass back to them, even though you're being rescued. I don't know.
But they were doing a horrible job.
They were. The garbage chute.
Yeah. I feel like if it was Dora over here and we rescuing her and she asking us like, okay, so what is your plan to get out of here? And we really don't have a plan to get out of here. To be like, okay, so why are y'all rescuing me? Because we're about to get caught again.
I mean, she has a valid point.
She has a valid point.
Yeah.
They wanted to save the princess.
I mean, at one point it's like, hey, they just saved you. At another point, I'm like, you guys are dumb. I was better off on my own.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they go down the garbage chute.
The garbage chute, which
There's something else down here.
see, I like all these scenes I remember clearly from my childhood.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like it sticks out.
Yeah.
And if this movie can keep the attention of 10-year-old me, I think it's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then they start like smushing the trash compactor.
Yeah.
And they talking to 3PO. 3PO. He's like, oh my god, they're dying.
Oh yeah, because they started screaming, but in celebration, it's like we lost Master Luke. They're dying.
Curse my metal body. I was too slow. It's funny. Yeah. I know you're not laughing, Dora. It's fine.
Yeah, but that scene is hilarious. From the creature that's in there, for them shooting to get out.
But they get out because R2 saves everybody. You know, for beginning and end of this franchise, I think R2 is actually the hero of this entire franchise.
Yes.
So Darth Vader and Obi-Wan meets each other.
Oh yeah, we get the lightsaber battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Just
such a bad fight.
So bad.
Just like, what is like? You guys aren't even moving.
No, they were not.
Also, Darth Vader should have been surprised by him disappearing when he killed him.
Yes.
Considering the rest of the lore as we watch more movies, he should have been surprised by that. Yeah. I don't know Darth Vader knew about
right. No one else has, up to that point, every Jedi that he has killed, the body was there. They didn't just up and disappear. Yeah. Now, as a kid, I would get so mad at that scene because I'm just like, dude, why did you just up and stop fighting?
But he did that on purpose.
Yeah.
I guess he figured he's a better help to Luke that way.
I was thinking, Luke,
and he doesn't run on the ship without him if he stays and keep fighting him.
Like if he's fighting Darth, Luke stays.
Yeah.
And then they probably all get captured.
Yeah.
Right, and if he really is stronger, which I'm not sure that's true or not, but
no, I'm pretty sure Darth Vader
is stronger.
He was
at this point.
Stronger.
Yeah,
pretty sure he was stronger in the Obi-Wan show. I haven't seen the end yet, but
yeah.
So yeah, I think he gave himself up to help Luke.
Yeah,
because you got to think Darth Vader. If I'm correct, I'm pretty sure people will probably correct me if I'm wrong. That he was trained in the ways of the Force, but then also taught the dark side.
Whereas, by the Emperor still, because Emperor is still alive. So he was,
and it's just like the Siths before him were just trained with the dark side. So it's like he has both.
Not only that, he was like the best.
Yeah.
right? So he was pretty much the best when he was Anakin, and then he went over to the dark side. So
Yeah.
like, you know, yeah,
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Obi-Wan would have died anyway. But
Mhm.
Mm.
And then they all would have got captured. So like adult me, I understand, but as a kid, I didn't understand that. I was so upset. I'm like, he didn't really put
my
up a
question
fight.
was, why did Darth Vader step on the rope? I'm like, it's clearly nothing under there. Like he's
Yeah.
like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so we get that, and then that's when they let them escape so that they can
Right,
follow
because
them.
they put a tracker, whatever, on them.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads us to the third act, which I actually think is really good still for today. The trench run,
Yeah.
the Death Star trench run with the X-wings and stuff. I
Yeah.
think was still pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Got the stakes with the countdown. 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. But the charging of the Death Star.
It doesn't make
So
any
slow.
sense.
Well, how long it takes to charge?
It didn't take that long to
Blow
destroy
up.
Alderaan.
It wasn't it charging. It had to come around
To
because they were on the moon of a planet. So they had to come around in orbit.
So destroy the planet in front of you, destroy the moon,
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
and then don't they
Maybe
have
you can't fire quickly.
don't
like
they
that.
have light speed? And then it still took a long time for that beam to charge up.
Listen, okay.
I mean, we know that
Stakes,
this
you
is
need stakes.
we know that this is the trope of stakes that always have to happen.
You do. There's always some kind of countdown.
There's
Yeah,
always
but
a countdown.
It was unnecessary because it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
And
it.
even with the guy telling him like, maybe we should just abort this, and he was like, no.
Oh yeah, the one guy did say it's abort and evacuate. We won't do this. He died. I mean, so did everybody else.
I mean, like everybody who didn't evacuate.
Man, what about the people that was just kind of there? You know, all them stormtroopers aren't bad.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You just killed them.
And then I was like, well, also as a kid, I was when they shot the T fighters, right? That's what they call
What?
X fighters,
TIE
X-
fighters.
TIE fighters,
TIE fighters, yeah.
and they crash onto the Death Star. I'm like, that also damages it.
Yeah, I mean, but it's
minor,
pretty
though.
big. It's the size of a moon. I don't think
Right.
it's like.
Yeah, that's minor.
I just always thought I was like, well, what if someone was on that?
Oh
deck?
no, the people there died. If you were there, like your bedroom was right
yeah,
there.
yeah. It was like, what if he got off work?
We need something like that where it just shows the person working. Yeah, I feel like that would be a Family Guy scene.
It would
Someone just like eating lunch in their room, and then the TIE fighter crashes.
crashes into their room.
Yeah, but no, the trench run I think was fun. It was good. I always wonder, like, because they explained it. You have to shoot it into this chute, and then
Mm-hmm.
it has to go at a 90-degree angle down. How does that work? I don't. The best fire, like
Yeah.
best shooter or whatever.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get it to turn?
You don't, right? Because you have no control over that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird.
Mhm.
Even as a kid, I was like, that doesn't work.
Yeah. It was.
Or it's it's an exhaust port. I was about to say maybe it sucks it down or whatever. But if it's an exhaust port,
It was an unnecessary added little detail. You know, like why couldn't you just shoot it? Like why did it also have to travel at a 90-degree angle?
because it's got to get to the center of the Death Star.
Yeah.
People were always said that it was kind of dumb that it has such a glaring weak spot. I mean, even though it's hard to shoot, it's still
Mhm.
like a pretty like you fire one little shot in this thing and the entire thing blows up
Yeah.
spectacularly.
It's absolutely ridiculous. All
Well, they explain it in Rogue One. Sorry.
not because you can go back and be like, why was this so dumb?
yeah.
But I just feel
True.
like all the conveniences in this movie were just so convenient for the good guys.
Yeah.
Just more than normal conveniences for good guys.
Yeah. And I like how Darth Vader ship gets shot, but he just spins out of control. Like, it doesn't blow
the
up.
other TIE fighter ran into him.
Oh, that's what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the one got blown up, and then the other one ran into him, and that's why he spun out. Which was fortunate for him because he doesn't blow up.
Mm-hmm.
So we still have our villain. That's one way to
Mhm.
save your villain. Although they've mentioned several times that like those ships can't be deep in space. So where did he go?
Right.
Right? Because obviously, like it can't just travel
Maybe
that
another
far.
fighter picked him up or something.
Okay.
Maybe.
Because I'm guessing they don't have light speed. No, wait, they're lying because Luke travels in an X-wing in the other movies.
But
Yeah.
but when they first arrived in that area, that wasn't an X-wing. He said the TIE fighter was too
Yeah.
small to be by itself, not the X-wing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For that far. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, well, maybe Vader does have a different ship.
His ship was different than theirs.
Yeah. So.
All right. Yeah. So they saved the day, and Luke and Han get medals,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
End the movie.
End the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's mad because Chewie doesn't get a medal.
He deserved one. I mean, was he also not fighting and doing things?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he
does
was.
deserve one.
Yeah.
Yep. Let the Wookiee win.
So, interesting movie facts.
Yeah.
I have a few. I didn't do a real deep dive, so there's only a couple.
Okay.
So this was the first movie to cross cross 500 million on its initial release.
Oh, okay.
And that was after
In the 70s,
pretty good, right? And that was
Yeah.
like
after
$1 billion.
George Lucas thought the movie would be a flop.
If they would have went exactly how he had it, it
thought
would have
this
been.
movie would have been a flop. He wanted it the way yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we saw the prequels. Never
yeah. So, but incidentally, he waived his usual director's fee, and then got instead 40% of the merchandising rights.
Okay.
Oh well, he made a ton.
He
off
made
of
a
that.
ton of
Yeah.
money, which at that time, movies didn't sell toys.
Yeah. And
But-
everything else.
But
Sheets, blankets,
right.
curtains.
But now, I wonder if it's a lifetime right thing, because now every time someone buys a Star Wars Lego set, this
Mhm.
dude gets paid. I
Well,
mean, we had Star Wars sheets.
We did.
We had Star Wars Legos.
Yeah.
I
we
had
did.
the Emperor with the red lightsaber.
sure
and
did?
everything.
Yeah, you did.
It was, and it was the Emperor in the window and his little throne thing that he was sitting on. From the
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So, it turns out Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher did not like the dialogue as it was written for the movie.
So they changed it.
So they
Mhm.
made some changes. I can tell.
I'm going to 100% agree with this.
Yes.
If you have seen the dialogue from the prequel, I'm sorry, I know I keep trashing the prequel. Look, Phantom Menace is cool.
I do like Phantom Menace.
The last fight of the what did it call it? What's the last movie called? It's not Return of the Jedi. It's
No.
the
What is the last one?
Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Okay, because I know it's something like the Return of the Jedi. Okay, so the last part of that movie is good too. All that in between, so bad, especially the dialogue. The dialogue is the worst part of the prequel.
Yes, it is.
So I can imagine how bad it was. Goodness gracious, the actors
Mhm.
in the prequels should have taken a page out of their book. It's like, hey, yo, I'm gonna just.
I'm just gonna do my
Do this.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would agree. So Darth Vader only has 12 minutes worth of screen time in this,
Yeah, he doesn't have much screen time.
but I think he makes the most of it.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
actually,
Yeah.
his theme song is not played in this movie
No, it is not.
It's not.
because it wasn't written yet.
Oh.
Yes. Although the score for this movie is good. You got the normal thing, but I kind of like the slower score better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, the score they play for Luke, and we always attribute it to Luke, but apparently that's the score for Jedi.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have a score for.
I just call it the Star Wars theme.
Yeah, the Star Wars theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you did see him force choke the guy though.
Oh yeah, I forgot we
Yeah,
didn't mention
yeah.
that scene.
Do we need to mention that? scene?
I'm like, first of all, why are you threatening this guy?
Right.
You're like, you're the last part of that religion,
Religion.
Darth, whatever.
Right.
You guys suck. And I'm like, yo, okay, I'm pretty sure you've seen what he can do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I find it weird that there's so many people that like doubt like the Force and Jedi, and I get that they were all murdered and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
but this isn't that long. Like Luke is how old? 20?
Right.
Yeah.
So you would have been, you would have had evidence of this thing in action.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Wait.
they were all.
Oh,
talking...
never mind. I was about to say something, and then never mind. I was about to say 20 years ago. I'm like, I'm pretty like no one's denying that 9/11 happened. Then I was like,
Yeah.
never. Wait, never
Yeah.
mind.
No,
No,
yeah,
I'm
you're
sorry.
right.
I take it back.
Mhm.
I mean, but yeah, you're right. Like this is something you guys would have seen and witnessed.
Yeah.
You would have been around for this.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
it's the real deal. Even if nothing else, Darth Vader's the real deal. Even if he didn't even have the Force powers, you already know this dude has no problem killing you with
Yeah.
or without the powers.
True.
Yeah.
Like, why are we playing these games?
Right.
Like, why did you
He
wake
has
up this
killed
morning?
everybody else.
Yeah, why you wake up this morning and say like, I'm going to question this man? Like, why?
Hmm.
So, yeah, a little ridiculous. Okay, we can move on to nitpicks now.
All
Okay.
right. Pick some nits.
Okay, so we did cover some of them, so I'm not gonna go back over those or not. But so after the stormtroopers kills Luke's aunt and uncle,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't hang around the house to see if their kid would come back home.
That would have been smart, or maybe they didn't know.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe they didn't know
they had one.
they had one.
They just knew the droids.
Did they search the house? You kind of know if someone
I know.
else
We
is
see how
Well-
dumb these stormtroopers were. They knocked on a door. It was like, it's locked. Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I'm like, unlock the door.
What's wrong? You know, obviously, nothing's back there because this door's locked. Like, what world are you living in? Idiot.
Yeah, I felt like they were just focusing on the droids, so it wasn't a
So they knew the droids
But
were
they-
at that house.
The Sand people gave them the location of the droids, correct?
The
who they
Jawas.
sold them to.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They did not also say he also had a boy with him.
probably not.
They ain't loyal to Luke and his uncle.
Well, they killed them anyway.
I mean, look. Obi-Wan also said the stormtroopers were precise in their shot.
He did say that.
Yeah, he did say that.
Only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise. Are you sure? Because they seem to miss everyone. They sure did miss Han and Chewie when there were 20 of them.
20 of
Right.
them, and he ran into them.
Yeah. So yeah, dumb. Okay. So when the plans of the Death Star first gets stolen, they're all having a conversation. They said they don't want it in the rebels' hands because what do they find a weakness that they can exploit? At that point, call up your engineers and go find out if we have a weakness or not.
And then try
to fix it.
Fix it. Like if the rebels have the plans and can find out there's a weakness, then you need to go back to the plans and figure out what your
like
weakness
put a
is.
shield on the exhaust port,
Oh my
Mhm.
goodness! Just
like one that closes. So like if you detect a shot fired at it, it like closes it off. For a split second, I guess you need the exhaust
Just
port. It
something.
probably needs to be open.
But
Mhm.
yeah,
But-
it just didn't make any sense. Okay. So we already talked about how the stormtrooper like no one's is on this ship when the Millennium Falcon is on Darth Vader's ship. But my thing is you couldn't detect the life forms. You did that for the escape pod. It said
Yeah.
there's no life forms. But when they're on your ship, you can't detect it.
Yeah.
Nope. Probably.
Ridiculous. Okay. So they hop down the trash compactor to escape. One, trash compactors are a lot faster than that. Two,
You don't know how
stormtroopers-
fast space trash compactors are.
Two, you see them go down here.
Yeah, I was
what
like,
is-
why is it taking them so long to figure? Wait, no, maybe that's why they turned it on.
But why not throw a bomb down there or shoot it? Shoot them. They're in a hole they can't escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna they're
I don't know. I might just turn the trash compactor.
Like,
on.
what's the
Yeah,
term?
just turn it on.
shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that would have been. Just literally, the three of them should be dead.
Well, yes.
Okay, I never paid attention to it like
Also,
that. but
why did the little monster thing let Luke go? It's like it
Oh,
just
and then
let it
also,
go.
how was Luke drowning in ankle deep water?
I was after the fact. I was thinking. I was like, but everybody's standing up. Like, I mean, I get it's holding him under the water, but how come they can't find him because it's ankle deep?
It's ankle deep.
You can find him, and you
Yes.
can shoot the monster thingy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. Okay. So Obi-Wan goes wiggle the switch to do something,
Mhm.
right?
Shut down the
Why
tractor
is
beam.
this control panel like 1,000 feet up with no walkway?
No walkway, no railing. And then I was thinking, I was like, is this the only way to turn off the tractor beam? Because if I'm an engineer on this space station, I'm like,
Poorly
bro,
engineered.
I'm like, bro, you don't expect me to like tiptoe around this thing, right?
I'll just be like, I'm not doing this.
This is a clear ocean violation.
It was poorly engineered.
This is a
Why?
perfect skit for like Saturday Night Live, I guess, since they're the only like skit show out there.
Okay. And then my last one, and I know this is super nitpicking. I cannot stand when people shoot doors to lock it. You have no idea if that door is going to fail open or close.
That's true.
True.
In movies, it's always that
It
locks.
always locks, and they can't open it when
Do-
they shoot it.
You have no idea if that's going to happen. Just
It
ridiculous.
is. It is
Think
like that.
electronic locks. If the batteries fail, doesn't it automatically lock or unlock?
It all depends on how you set it up. That's what I'm saying. You can set something up to fail close or fail open.
You know what? Yeah, I have seen that with garage doors.
Exactly.
Like I have seen garage door openers fail, and the garage just stays up, and they can't let it down. And then also vice versa,
right.
it fails, and you can't lift
how
it up.
is. My thing is, you have no idea what this door is going to do because you didn't design this door.
Right.
Oh no, it doesn't lock. I'm just going to shoot it, and well, now it's open.
Because I have seen that. I have
I
seen
guess
with garages.
in hindsight, it doesn't make much of a difference because if you can't lock it, they're just going to open it immediately anyway. So you take your chance and see if it fails locked, I guess.
I'm sorry, it irritates me. It just is so ridiculous. Like you don't know what's going to happen with this door. Stop shooting things. All right, that was my last one.
Understood.
All right. Okay.
I haven't. I mean, the nitpicks that I had, she covered.
I mentioned it. Most of mine were with the add-ons that George
Mhm.
Lucas added in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mentioned some of the other ones. So I think it's fine. I guess it's time for us to rate. We're going to let Dora start. What's
Yeah.
your rating?
I'm sorry. I cannot with this movie. I don't know how you watch this movie and say, yes, I want 10 more of these. Just
I didn't say I want 10 more. Like, at this point, like, I can not have another mainstream Star Wars movie. The shows have
The shows are
the
really
shows seem to be pretty decent. I'm cool with that. But like, especially their offshoots. Like, I haven't watched Solo because I had no interest in watching it at all.
Right.
mhm.
Yeah.
And the way they ruined things with the sequels, I'm like, I don't know. I cannot watch another main storyline Star Wars thing ever. But this, I don't know. It's a fond memory from childhood. We had all 3 VHSs
Mm-hmm.
and we watched them.
I was bored out of my mind. I just literally I turned it off at the end, like 20 minutes to go. I'm like, whatever, I know how this ends. And I didn't even finish it. Just it was such a struggle to get through.
I would say it's a bit slower, and at some parts for me now was a bit boring. But like, I don't know, maybe it's the nostalgia of it. A lot of the stuff that I enjoyed when I was younger, I still enjoy it now.
I did not enjoy a single part of this movie.
See, you're not as, but you know what? She hates Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
They're not good movies.
You're not a space opera person.
No, she's not a space opera person.
not a
She's
space
not.
opera person.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Because do not like Star Trek?
Any of the Star Trek movies?
The movies?
Yeah.
Like the new ones?
I guess.
I mean, the new ones are a remake of
I
the
don't
old
know.
ones.
I can't watch it. I'm not a Star Trek person, so I'm.
I don't think I've ever seen an
And we
old
lost
Star
the other
Trek
half
movie.
of audience right
What
there.
about the show?
I
don't
did
think
rewatch Voyager when we first got Netflix.
Yeah.
I watched Voyager.
I don't think I hate any of the Star Trek shows. Like, if you ask me to choose between Star Trek and Star Wars, I would choose Star Trek.
I'm definitely the opposite. I think Star Wars is much more.
And
I
I mean,
feel
I say that as an
Star
I've
Wars
never,
is much more interesting than
I've
me.
never watched a show from like beginning to end. I've seen episodes here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've seen 2 of the new movies, but I've never seen none of the old movies.
Well, mommy had one, right?
What?
Like Or she had a few. I remember
movie?
she had
It had
Nemesis.
a weird
Nemesis
it.
and
Yeah.
Like you
First
flip it and,
Contact.
like, the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Borg ship appears and disappears.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
So I mean, I
Was
guess
that Nemesis? I don't know. That was with Picard, right?
Both of them was with Picard.
Okay.
She didn't have any of the originals.
so. I guess I would have seen that movie, but I remember nothing
Yeah.
about
I
it.
remember some of Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine was
Uh,
boring to me.
Yeah, I thought that was
Just-
boring.
But Generations and Voyager, I would say, was
I-
the ones.
That's
Generation
Picard.
is with Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah. So that's Next Generation, and
And
then
then Voyager is with the lady
Yeah.
Janeway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Janeway.
Captain Janeway
Okay.
in 7 of 9.
And 7 of 9. Yeah.
I mean, I would have to go back and try to watch one of them now to say like, nope, didn't like that, don't like
Okay.
this.
I
But you
remember
just-
2 episodes from Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
One where like a virus became like super big, like attacking this. I don't know if it was a virus or something.
Actual virus?
Yeah. And it was like killing people, like stabbing them, killing them
Mm.
on the ship. And then the one where the one lady, she wasn't really a human, of course, but they all look human.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like traveling backwards through time
Oh, okay.
and almost went all the way back until she was like born or something like that. It was weird. I remember that one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess to answer your question is, I would have to watch one of those because like watching this, I'm like, nope, don't like it. So I would have to watch one of those and be like, okay, I don't care.
Mhm.
But right now, I tell you, I don't like Star Wars. I don't like it.
Okay.
All right, man. The prequels are going to be a hard to
Yeah.
get through. Whew,
Yeah.
boy.
She might like the last one though.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the Phantom Menace is dope with Darth Maul.
Yeah. Darth Maul is dope.
Darth Maul's pretty dope.
It's with the twin lightsabers.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that fight between him, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon Jinn. What's with these names? That fight was pretty dope too.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I guess I'll give my rating.
Mhm.
At first, because it was a bit slower, I was giving it a watch while folding clothes. But as I watched the entire movie, I'm gonna give it. I pay for that.
Yeah.
Like it's the kind of movie for a reason, and
Mhm.
I even now I still at the end of the day after I watched it enjoyed the watch for the movie. So
I would give it. I would pay for that too. I felt the same way. I enjoyed the movie. I mean, I felt like the add-ons wasn't needed. It didn't need those. But I mean, if you take that out of the movie, it's like I still enjoyed the movie. So yeah. And the funny thing is, for me, when we were younger, I didn't care for Star Wars.
Mhm.
I didn't start liking Star Wars until I got older.
I was never like a diehard fan of Star
Yeah.
Wars.
I
I'm
just
still not, but
I just
mean,
never
still enjoy watching.
I just never understood it watching it as a kid and a
Mhm.
teenager.
Mhm.
And I will say it's because I probably never fully sat down and watched it all the way through. I want to say Return of the Jedi was probably the only one that I watched all the way through. So it was like rewatching
Ew,
it.
that's got that whole section with the teddy bear people. I forget
Yeah.
their names now.
Yeah.
I legitimately hate that part.
Yeah.
Only part about that movie I remember, and I remember like I hated it. Lasted too long. Just ugh.
Yeah. It's the second act. But yeah. Watch what I'll pay for that.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's I pay for that from 3D.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
outvoted, so
Sorry, sorry, Dora. But you know, yeah. Sorry. Empire Strikes Back is a much better movie. I
Yes,
think.
it is. Yes. And there's a reason why it's the #1 movie of the franchise.
So you say, like, I really went in saying maybe I've been too hard on Star Wars,
Well, when we
and after this, I'm like, nope, you're exactly right.
Jeez.
when
I'm-
we review Empire Strike Back, I definitely feel like
She's not.
you
gonna
you
like
would
it.
feel different.
She's not gonna like it.
I don't think she will like it, but I don't think she will feel as badly about it as she feels about this movie.
Okay.
I don't think she will.
We shall see.
Because I feel like in
It's
Empire,
got Lando in it.
I feel
The
like
leading ones?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
But I do feel like, from what I can remember, I don't think it was much slow.
As slow.
As
Yeah.
slow
Yeah.
in this movie. I feel like action was back to back, constantly, in this movie.
The lack of action is not what I'm disliking about the movie. It's the movie I dislike. You could put more action scene in and I still wouldn't like it.
Okay.
She's not gonna like it.
If
Well,
you don't like Empire
She's
Strikes
gonna
Back,
be
she ain't
she's gonna be
like
mad
nothing.
next week because I just realized that Guardians of the Galaxy comes out
Mhm.
next.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why they put it on the 5th?
No.
Before it start? No,
No.
it's just a Marvel day.
Yeah,
In May they always do that. But okay.
May and July.
Yeah, so Dora's not a space opera person. If you want to let her know in the comments below why she's wrong about that, feel free to do so. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more movie reviews, and of course, we'll catch you in the next one.